I was like, welcome everybody to another episode of the Brews and Boys podcast. Here with your boys and your brews. Give you a second to crack open another one.
Yeah, carry on. Rolling Play-Doh snakes.
Washing my hands, like.
Yeah, I'm like, you get between and everything. You're like,
all right, we've given you enough time, so you better take your first sip with us.
Yep.
Because cheers to
Carry on.
Blackout stories.
Fair.
Okay. So here's, we'll share a couple. I got two. I think you've got two stories that we've
One and a half, yeah.
had.
If I remember.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the best part, is I only know what people have told me.
Yeah. Just, we'll divvy them up. Two and two, and then we'll share more later down the line.
Yeah, so I'll start, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure.
I can think of one. The whole, beginning isn't because I remember all the beginning.
Yeah.
It's, very near the end that I'm just,
You're like,
I'm
well,
just,
I don't
no,
know. Blacked out.
no idea what happened. Practically, snippets, but, barely. So I remember me and a couple of my friends, I'm pretty sure we started drinking here. And, little pre-game skis, we were just hanging around, just having some drinks. And then we went out.
That was well brought up. Too bad you weren't.
That's right. So we got a separate friend to come and drive us to, the clubs and shit, downtown, the bars.
Yeah.
So we went. They picked us up, drove us all over there. And then we all, went into the first place. We were having a great time, just, fucking...
Input your own music.
Yeah, just don't want copyright claims. And and then we were probably there for a couple hours at the first place, and it was probably late when we left, just classic. Anyways, ended up leaving the first place, and we were walking down to go to the next place, and it was four of us, including myself, and we made it to the second place. But it was like a line, right? They had to wait, and they had to check your ID and give you a brace or stamp or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And we get to that place, and we get to the back of the line, and then two of the guys just didn't want to go in anymore. But me and another guy were
certainly wanted to go.
We were I don't want to go. I'm not done. I want to have some more fun. I want to hang around. So we were waiting in line, and they were walking with us in line.
But on the outside.
Yeah, we were behind the tape or whatever, and they were just walking with us on the outside until we were ready to go in, I think, and then they dipped or something like that happened. So then me and this guy, we go up in, we're having a good time, whatever, hanging out together the whole time. We get a couple drinks, some shots, whatever. Go hang out, mingle for a bit, and then we come back and get a drink and go back out on the dance floor. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And then eventually we ended up running into people we knew. And he knew them better than me, but they were friends from work or something. And anyways, we ran into them. And he was still just talking to them. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go get a drink or anything or something. I'm going to go get a drink or... Fuck. Yeah, I'm blacking out again just talking about it.
You're shit. Get a secondhand blackout.
It's okay, I'm going to go get a couple shots for myself or whatever, because I was slowly like that. It'd always be let me get let me get 2 tequila shots. Every time.
And you're just
yeah, it's just disgusting.
Pounding them back.
Yeah. Anyways, so I go up and do that. And then, on my way back, I don't know if I made it to where I left them or not even. And I just couldn't find them anymore. I was just gone.
That's the worst part of it, too.
Yeah, and I was just by myself. It's like that John Travolta meme where he's
yeah. Yeah. Nobody's around anymore, and you're fuck.
But it's packed. Sardines.
There were probably 2 people over from you, but they just weren't there, and all of a sudden you started immediately being fuck. Like you're panicking a little bit.
Fuck, by myself.
Downtown, alone, everyone else is with someone else. And
and I'm just like...
Yeah, you're 2 shots of whatever, and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah, so I ended up texting the friend that dropped us off to come pick me back up. Like, whatever, like, well, I'm just going to go home now, like, I guess, you know. Like,
why else?
Because they had previously offered to come pick us all back up, but I think the 2 guys that left got picked up by one of their dads or something. So, yeah, I text them. They come get me. But what had happened was I text them and they're like, okay, you know, like heading across the bridge. I'll be there like kind of soon. And then all of a sudden.
But no.
I remember like walking down the stairs because this place you had to like go upstairs and it was like to get in and then downstairs to back out on like ground level. So I remember going down the stairs after I had already texted them to like come get me. And then all of a sudden from like coming down the stairs, I come conscious, laying down on my back in the grass on the road out front of this building that we're in right now.
Yeah, so you were downtown.
In Dartmouth.
Which is, like, our downtown is, like, not, it's not far, but it's not close. Like, it's like a 16 minute drive.
Yeah.
Drive across, like, bridges and shit.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
So, I must have, like, just crawled in a cab that was, like, waiting for people or something.
Yeah. We don't remember that.
And I was like, nope.
Paying or anything.
Nope. Like, don't remember none of that shit. And actually. When I...
Recollecting.
Yeah. When I woke up, I wasn't in front of this building. I was in front of a different building down the street.
Right.
On my back. I like didn't have my hat on. I like my phone was like behind me on the grass, and my debit card was like 3 feet away from me over here.
So you must have all your things, all your favorite things in your hands, and you just fell back and you were like, and just fucking like
probably
released them.
Yeah, probably
your hat, and you must have hit then like the ground or something. Your hat was like.
I'll get to that part because my hat was somewhere else, so I'll get to that. Anyways, yeah, so I didn't have my hat because the guy dropped me off, like the cab driver dropped me off in front of the place. Probably.
So it was a cab
that brought me here. Well, must have been. Yes, it was.
It was.
It was. And I'll get back to how I know it was a cab later on. Yeah, they dropped me off in front of this place, and I must have like started walking down the street or like why? Don't know. Don't remember. I remember waking up in the fucking grass. And all of a sudden, said friend is calling me or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, like I'm here, like come outside." And I'm like, funny story.
Yeah, unbeknownst to you, I am outside.
Yeah, not actually. I don't remember what it says. Probably like, but I was like, I'm home, not home, but I'm here.
Yeah,
like I'm on my street, and they're like,
yeah. What the fuck?
They're like, huh?
Because I think that friend probably came from here.
Yeah, I think
from this side of the bridge.
Yes, yeah.
And then went over and then had to come back, and then damn.
Yeah.
They were just probably like, what the fuck?
Just to get me, just to be nice, like you know, like they were like, okay, I'll help you out, whatever. Cool, I'll come get you. Anyways, yeah. So they call me or whatever. Hey, I'm here and to get you. Yeah, I'm like, I am on my street.
I'm already.
And they're like.
I'm not here, but I'm here kind of.
Oh, dude. Probably so mad, but like I wouldn't have known because I was like,
yeah, absolutely dead, dead.
So I collect my limited belongings that I could find, but didn't have my keys
to get in here.
Yeah,
right.
Lost my keys completely. Lost them. Had no idea where they were. And so we were waiting in the lobby for a while, just trying to because I had a separate friend that lived in the building, and they were me and them were trying to call them to the friend that lived in here to come let me in, and I was trying to call my roommates at the time and everything, but everybody was fucking out. It's probably fucking 4 a.m, dude. Be honest, everybody's asleep.
Yeah.
So eventually I just end up sleeping in first said friend's car. Holy shit. Overnight. Like, just like sleeping in their car. They had like gone up to their apartment. Just like left me in their car. Well, I think they were like, hey, like, come on, like, let's go up. You can crash on the couch or whatever. And I was just like,
but you've done that shit before.
Yes.
Even with you and me. Yeah. And you just like, nah. I'm like, you don't want to go up and be comfortable and just be okay.
I was just like,
yeah.
in the car.
Yeah.
And then the next day they drove me back home because the other guy we were trying to call that lived here was like, yeah, like I'm home like 11 minutes now.
Yeah.
Whatever, like sorry, I was asleep. Anyways, so we come.
Because it was 4.
So we come back, and I get let out like right in front of the building, and right in front of the building in the dirt is my hat. So like that's how I know the cab dropped me off in front of the apartment, and I must have been like. Like, I don't know
and
why.
Just walked the other direction.
Like, and then turned and walked down the hill instead of inside the building.
It was way closer to go inside than to where you.
I don't know if I knew I had lost my keys at that point or why I was walking away or whatever. But the reason I found my keys is because I checked my my online bank.
Yeah.
To like see what payments I made, and it was like yellow cab,
blah
blah blah blah. So I was like, nice. Call yellow cab. I'm like, hey, I was in a cab last night. Like
at some point.
I don't know. Anyways, they ended up finding my keys. Or they figured out what cab I was in because I told them where I went and they can like track that shit somehow. And they told me that the driver had actually already like told them about that. But at the time still, because of this, I still have the keychain on my thing. It's one of those like I don't know what it is, but it's like fucking like drive safe fucking war amps or something.
I think you told me about
and
that.
It has like a big long serial number that's like specific to you.
Right.
So they knew, and he called the number on the back of that thing, and he was like, yeah, just drop it in like the nearest mailbox and we'll ship it back to him.
Right.
And then they did.
Just a set of keys.
And then they did all of that, and I got my keys back, and it was great. Yeah. That's practically the whole story. Yeah, like that's what a ride, right?
Just for one blackout story.
Just for one little night on the town with my friends, lose my keys. I'm fucking sleeping in a car overnight. I can't get into my home. Like I'm just like,
man,
what a nightmare. Yeah.
Well, that's number one for you.
That was me.
Number one for me. I remember I went to a apartment party years ago. And I'm not sure if the viewers will know, but there's a beer that you can get here in the city, bars, that's called Dry Ice. And it's like, it's cheap and it's shit and it's like 8%.
Strong.
Yeah, it's like a strong beer. Yeah, boxing me the fuck up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 8%.
But you can only get them in 8-pack tall cans. So you'd go buy the pack for like $20. Or some shit.
Get absolutely fucking slizzed.
Get absolutely dirty as hell. So I got an 8-pack of those because I was on like a little bit of like a dry ice kick for a minute. I don't know why. I just hated myself. And then I also had like a quart of Royal Reserve whiskey as well.
Love that.
So I went to this party with one of my brothers and one of my really good friends that I was like hanging with for like years. I didn't know anybody else at this party. So we were there and I drank all of the 8 cans and I was like fucked up. And we were like, I remember like playing Pong and shit and like, I don't know, just doing like party stuff. And I like, there's only pieces that I really like remember. I remember getting there and like hanging out with everybody and like playing Pong and drinking the beers, and I was like chit-chatting with everybody. Made friends with like a bunch of people there. And then I was like, I'm out of beer now. Oh, but I got the whiskey. So I was drinking the whiskey, and I was just drinking it straight out of the bottle. And I remember next thing I knew, I was like in the bathroom because my friend that I knew for like a couple of years that I went there because of, basically, she was throwing up. So I was like trying to like take care of her But I was like also like fucking pissed drunk myself. So as I was like trying to take care of her, I was also feeling like I don't feel like too great right now. So luckily, she was like done getting sick, and she like went back out, and I followed her, and then like a few minutes later, I was like, I'm like, this is it. Like
Michael Jackson, this is it.
And I went back to the bathroom, and I remember I like stumbled to go into the bathroom, and I fell. And I remember, I don't know why, but when I fell, I turned and I smashed like the back of my head off of like the fucking like bathtub.
Oh, you could have died
right
there,
100%.
Buddy. You could have been killed.
So like I was literally going in there to get sick. I was already fucking dizzy as fucking like blacked out at that point.
Smash your fucking cranium.
Smashed the back of my head off the fucking like bathtub edge, and then I proceeded to throw up all over myself. I was like,
because you were like ready to throw up when you went in there, and then you went,
just like throw up. And then I remember like I remember like hearing things, but I couldn't the vision is black at this point, right? But I remember like the music like stopped. Everyone like came in. There was like a bunch of people in there. I could like hear like a bunch of people. And yeah, like I remember she had to like clean up my throat because I was like dead. So I finished up in the bathroom at that point. And I went out to the couch, and I was laying on the couch, and I remember I could hear people still, but I was like, my eyes were like closed and I like couldn't open them. I was like completely fucked. And people were like bringing me water, and I was like trying to drink it, but just like dumping it on myself. I was like drinking it, but I like when I would bring it away from my mouth, I wasn't like done with it. And then I like slept in a room on like a mattress, plain mattress, no like sheet bed.
Oh fuck yeah.
Like grunge shit, like
best sleep of your life.
Trash.
You're like,
and I had slept there, and I remember when we woke up in the morning, they were like, "Hey, these like the owners of the place are leaving, so we have to leave," sort of thing. And I was so hungover,
violently.
And I remember like when I woke up in the morning, my friend was going with them because she didn't drive, but she was up to see the people who owned the place. So she went with them, but I had to drive my car back to like where I was living. Mm-hmm. And it was the worst, most longest drive I've ever had. But it like isn't a long drive. It's like not even 10 minutes. But it felt like I was driving for like so long.
Felt like an eternity.
Yeah, because I was just like barely hanging on. I was like, at any point I'm gonna get sick. And then I slept for so long. When I got home, like I think it was like almost like a day of just me like laying in bed.
Was that your box of macaroni night?
No.
That's a separate occasion.
That's another story. Tune in for the next one.
That's a separate occasion. Sorry.
Yeah, that's another crazy story. But that was also a great night.
Wow.
But yeah, it was deadly. Like mine's definitely not as long because I don't really remember a lot of it because the dry ice fucked my shit.
Yeah, that shit kills. Like I've had that a handful of times, and I've like bought like an 8 or whatever. I think they had like a 15 too.
Yeah,
of
and
the
like
small the regular sized cans, right? So I'm pretty sure I've had it a handful of times, but
it's dirty and it fucks to you. It takes the reins. Like you have no control.
Like, thanks.
Yeah, it snaps.
Thanks, I'm you.
Yeah. Yeah. Deadly.
Well, I'll transition into another short one, I suppose. Yeah. One night, this guy and me and this guy, we were hanging out, we've talked about it before on this show.
I think so, yeah. So we said that we were probably going to do it at some point, which we will. We will.
Probably.
Well, I'll let you explain.
Might save it for like a holiday episode or something. Anyways, the Centurion Challenge, we were talking about it previously. And which is essentially you take a shot glass and you like pour beer in it, and you have to take a shot every 60 seconds, every minute, which doesn't sound like a lot.
Yeah.
But spaced out over an hour or whatever, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
You've suddenly drank your whole 12-pack and you're just off your ass. Because it feels like nothing. And especially once you start drinking, the drinks aren't as harsh. And it's just like, go, 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 go.
Well, that and like when you take it, like you fill up the first one, then you wait for the minute, and then you take one, and then as soon as you put it back down, you start the timer again. So you got to take it and fill it up, and then you put it down.
Sit there and talk for a sec.
That's already like 20 seconds, So you got 40 seconds left to like
have a reasonably sized sip
and like basically. Chill, and then you're again, and then you just all rinse and repeat the process.
It was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
But I tell you, we flew through at least like 10 beer very quickly, and then we just like stopped to like just have the last couple. Holy fuck, dude. I was a mess.
Yes.
Just awful.
Absolute disgusting mess.
Yeah, so I literally don't know really anything that happened between me sitting there and what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Because we were like sitting up like at my desk kind of like this and doing it like at the table. And then next thing I know, like I'm like sitting like up like on my bed, like leaning up on my bed, and like you're like kind of like asking me like, am I good?
Yeah.
Like, are you good?
You all right, man? You okay?
Like, are you good? You like, you feel sick or anything?
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah,
exactly like this. I was leaning up and I was just like,
yeah, no, yes, no, yes.
And you were like,
and I go, okay, so which is it?
and then I turn and I just barf between my wall and the bed.
Yeah.
Just
down, yeah.
Awful. And then obviously I lived here. I slept there. Whatever, right? Like it was like on the ground.
Yeah.
I think I might have tried to get some of it, but I did not get most of it. And then you were like, hey, like I'm gonna go, man.
Yeah. So like I don't know, like I don't know, because I was already drunk, right? But I wasn't like, for me as like a person, I cannot like deal with like helping somebody clean up, throw up.
Yeah, that's a different type of thing.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, so
hey man,
I'm gonna head out. Yeah. And then you go, all right, see ya. And then that was basically it. And then, I mean, the rest is history for you to tell. But yeah, I was out, man. I was gone. Because I brought like sandwiches like that I had bought at like fucking the grocery store. There was like 4 fucking pre-made subs, and I was like, once we're done drinking, we should eat these because it's like bread and meat and all that shit, and we'd be alright.
Did not make it that far.
You didn't make it that far, but I was sitting there eating them, and then you died, and then I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna leave the rest of these here for you, and then I'm gonna go.
I must have woke up and ate them, but I don't even remember that.
Yeah, hangover. The blackout leads to the next morning sometimes.
Yeah, dude. All of a sudden, you're like standing up at the bank waiting.
Yeah. You're like. Yeah. Final one. Are you done?
Yes. Yeah. That's
final one for me.
Short and sweet.
Before we kick the video, I remember where I used to work like a couple years ago. We used to have Christmas parties at like this one guy's house because he had like a nice big house that we could all fit in, and like there would be like tons of room and shit. And I think it was the first one that I ever went to, because I only went to 2, because like I didn't work there very long, and then the company shut down and shit.
Traumatic.
But the first one I went to, I was like, it was obviously like bring your own drinks or whatever for the most part.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'll bring, just like a pint of Jim Beam, or whatever the fuck.
Beam.
The Jim Beam. So I brought that, and I remember when I walked in, the first like minute, I was like taking my shoes off and shit, taking off my coat and everything. The guy that I was like most friends with at the place was like, the entry fee is 2 shots.
You're like
he was just like, yeah, obviously, fucking with me. So then I was like, fuck it, whatever. So we took 2 shots of Goldschlager, and then after that we were like, playing some games and like drinking and stuff, and then we were doing like drinking games, like heavy drinking games. And then we were like doing like exchanging gifts and shit, because it was like Christmas time. And I don't even remember like when I opened up my bottle, because I was drinking all these other liquors. But I remember when I left, like throughout the night, I was like drinking a little bit of what I brought. But when I left, I had probably like a little bit left, probably like that much, and like a pint bottle, right?
Yeah.
So like maybe a quarter, not even. I remember when I got in the cab and I came back. Well, I went back to where I was living, because before I lived here.
Yeah.
I had to piss so fucking bad, so bad. Yeah. That when I was walking down my like hall in my apartment building, I was like literally pissing my pants. Like I was dribbling the whole way. And at that point, I was so fucked up that I don't really remember like the last part of where I was at, like what I was doing at his house or the cab ride. But I remember getting out of the cab, and I had to piss so bad that it like almost like fed into my mind. That it sobered me up just enough that I was like, oh fuck, I gotta go, man. Like I gotta fucking get in my apartment. I gotta piss.
I'm surprised you didn't just stand by the wall like
yeah.
outside.
I think because I was too drunk to think about that.
Yeah.
That I was just like, I need to get inside and I gotta piss. So I was like dribbling in the hall and I was like fucking speed walking. Went in there and absolutely unleashed like the most hellish piss.
Opened the dam, the floodgates even.
And then after I was done pissing, literally like 10 seconds later, like bang, blacked out again.
Just dead. And
then I remember I woke up the next day and I, as you do, if you're drunk as fuck, blacked out, and I kind of remember that. You like check like, your texts and your call logs and shit. I had 7 conversations with people that 1, I barely even talked to, and 2 that I don't even remember at all. Right? So I like opened them up to see like the duration. Some of them were like fucking half hour, 20 minutes, 10 minutes. And I don't remember a single word that I said to any of these people. Or even like dialing their number.
7 whole conversations. Yeah. That's awesome.
That I don't remember at all.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah. It's just like when I was piss loaded, I was like, I was gonna call somebody.
You're like,
I'm just bored. I want to talk to someone. So then I was calling basically everybody that I could, and just having conversations that are forever in history.
They're still unbeknownst to me.
But they may remember them.
It's probably
maybe not, but
it's probably like a trauma thing.
Yeah. Saying some weird shit in there. I was probably just slurring the whole time.
No. The guy from King of the Hill.
Oh, fucking, what's his name? Boomhauer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boomhauer. He's like, it's like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Or like, it's like a child when they can't really form words yet, and there's like,
yeah.
And you're just like,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, awesome, buddy, yeah.
Shit, man.
That was me. I was a 2-year-old boy.
You were the 2-year-old Boomhauer. Well,
that's I think that's it, man.
That's
funny,
that's
man. the first segment of the Blackout stories.
Yeah, man.
I got more in the bank.
Yeah,
that we'll definitely explore.
Yeah, we can come with some more.
But if you guys like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And check out all of our social medias, TikTok for show, Instagram and Facebook. We're always active on there with the comments and everything like that. If you guys have any other suggestions of what we can do for other videos, drop them in any of the comments or message. Oh my god, I can't even talk. I fucked up the first time, so now I'm like, message us directly, and we'll make sure to respond. And we love you.
Yeah, and remember, if you black out, make sure you ask everybody that was around you so you can get the funny details.
Yeah,
because
You won't remember.
Because they turn into great stories.
Just like these.
All right. See you next time.